What do you think? Good. Morning, everybody. It's Monday, October 10th, 2016, and I'm headed into work for the day. Before we get this week started, let's first check the crypto report, shall we? Alright, so, this crypto stuff, it's getting a little sketchy, bro. In case you haven't noticed, my take home per day, per week, per month, whatever, is drastically dropping, or rapidly dropping every single week. So there was probably about a month-long period with the crypto report where I wasn't doing the math, like, and calculating the weekly and daily take-home correctly, so I was just copying it over from the week before. But a few weeks ago, or a couple weeks ago, my buddy mentioned to me, he's like, dude, the difficulty keeps rising and rising. He's like, he was telling me that he's mining like 0.61 ether per day, and I was like, oh shit, I wonder what I'm doing. So yeah, I think I'm down to like 0.7 or something like that per day, and it sucks, man. It really does. I mean, I mentioned it before, but I got almost $2,000 invested in my mining setup. To date, my portfolio is like somewhere around $1,500. So I've mined basically $1,500 worth of crypto with $3,000 worth of gear, or I'm sorry, $2,000 worth of gear. So what him and I have been doing, we're kind of, you know, kicking around the idea. It's like, well, maybe it's time to sell all of our shit. You know, Ether right now is, my phone is telling me 1164 right now. So it's dropped like $2 in the last week and a half. That's horrible. There was an article that I came across, I think it was Thursday or Friday, and it basically was talking about the Ethereum network is still under attack. So like right now Ether is 1164, but Bitcoin is up. I'm still holding on to Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is 617.54, which is freaking awesome. When it was probably about 2 weeks ago, my buddy sold off all of his crypto, and he sold it at like $600 per Bitcoin. So right now it's 618-ish, and it's still been going up. So I was gonna sell it off, but then I was like, well, like I said, I saw it going up. So the problem with selling Bitcoin is there's fees and all kinds of shit built into the selling point. So when I wanted to sell, after all the fees and all that were said and done, when I looked into it 2 weeks ago, the final selling cost would have been about $595 per Bitcoin, even though it was worth $605 or whatever. That pisses me off, man. These guys that do these services and businesses and stuff, they're just raking in free money. But whatever. So now what I have in mind is I've been waiting, you know, because I wanted to get a little bit more money out of it. I haven't tried to sell it today to see what my final rate would be per Bitcoin, but it's got to be another 10, 15 bucks. So, you know, and because I own two, that means I'm gaining 10 or 20 bucks when you do the math. But I don't know, man. I'm kind of torn. You know, like I can still get money out of my hardware after I sell it, so it's not like a complete waste of whatever. But I mean, let's say I spent $2,000 on it and I end up keeping my power supplies and a couple other small things. That was maybe $500. So let's say I have $1,500 in graphics cards and I sell them at a little bit of a discount. I might get back like $1,000 to $1,200 or something. So that means it still costs me $500 to $800 to do, and I made my portfolio's worth just around $1,500. It sucks, man. It sucks, but it's an investment. It's one of those things where it could be, you know, it could be bang or bust. So that's kind of what's been on my mind. I'm not super stressed out about it because my money is in Bitcoin. If my money was in Ether, I'd be freaking the fuck out right now. So because Ether's dropped just a ton in the last what has it been? Last week? Almost, it looks like it's been on a downward trend for about 3 weeks now. So it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Like, the people that run these hacks and stuff, they're probably hired by the guys that are the largest holders of that crypto. But some sort of denial of service attack is going on. Somebody's hammering the Ethereum network and they're trying to do something. They're not exactly sure what, but currently they blocked it or shut it down, but they're experiencing a delay in the Ethereum network. That's the basis of the article that I read last week. So I don't know, but I am holding some Ether right now. I'll have it updated at the crypto report that's rolling at the beginning of this video. I haven't added it up yet. I think I have somewhere around 15, 16 Ether. Man, I don't know. Like I said, I'm contemplating cashing out all my crypto and paying off my credit card and stuff. And I don't know. I get the damn credit card paid off, and then like a bunch of shit happens in a row, and then it's run back up. I got like $1,000 on my credit card again, and I'm just like, what the fuck, man? Like, I had it paid off, and then I had Grant's birthday. That was $300-400. That was his birthday, his cake, and all that. His birthday presents, and then I spent $300 on axles for this car. I spent probably a couple $100 to do the brakes. No, I spent $220 on the brakes, and then I also spent a little bit more for tools and stuff. So I had to buy wrenches. I bought a Mighty Vac. I bought other pieces and parts to do different things. I was gonna rebuild my caliper, so I spent $20 on that. I spent $30 on a axle rebuild kit, and then I found those other axles. So it's just been an onslaught of expenses and stuff. And then, you know, like this concert we just did and all that, it's like, God. It was fun. It was fun, but it wasn't my group of friends or people that I really know. I mean, my sister and brother-in-law were there, and my cousin Brian and Ann were there, but I don't know any of their friends that they brought. So they brought another married couple and the wife's sister-in-law, or I'm sorry, the wife's sister, and then they brought another married couple. And man, I'm fucking telling you guys, it's like everyone is like in party mode and whatever, game on, and then it's like after a little bit of drinking, all the married women are just like, oh, I got headaches, and oh, I'm fucking tired, and it's just weird. I don't know, you know. That's why I don't miss stuff like that. I don't miss being married, like the way women are. I don't know. But there was a little bit of drama. There's some bullshit going on. The one married guy was kind of being an asshole. He was hitting on women and touchy-feely, and generally just being a creeper. And I don't know what the fuck that was about. I kind of asked them about themselves, and they said they were married for 8 years. So they call that like the 7-year itch. That's what I experienced. They don't have any kids. I don't know, but yeah. So I didn't really have a good time. I mean, I had a good time tailgating. That was fucking cool. So like we brought all kinds of stuff. I brought Jello shots. Those turned out really well. I don't know. I think I mentioned it, but I had taken gallon freezer bags, filled them with water, and put them flat in the freezer and froze them so they were like flat trays, ice, like frozen ice tray, and then I stacked them in between each layer of Jello shots. So there was like a bag of ice, Jello shots, another bag of ice, and it kind of went all the way up, and it worked out well. I never had brought Jello shots anywhere via a cooler before. Worked out fine, but yeah, man, there were some professional fucking tailgaters out there, man. There was a couple guys walking around with a big rope, and they're like, that group challenges your group to a tug of war. We're like, what? So we're like, fuck yeah. So we did the tug of war, and we won. That was pretty awesome. We didn't really win anything, but that was kind of cool. And then what else? There was a couple guys walking around asking trivia. So it was cool. It was different. You know, whatever. And yeah, I mean, that's about it. There's not much else going on. I'm tired. I went to bed early last night. You would have been proud of me. I got to bed about 9:15, maybe 9:30. It's hard to say, but it was well before 10. So I got about 9 hours, over 9 hours of sleep last night. So I'm excited about that. I'm tired, but I feel good. I feel good. So, yeah, I should probably get into work. So I got to work really quickly today, and that's a good thing. So stay tuned for more. What's going on, everybody? Just getting out of work for the day. I have to run and pick Grant up from daycare. Just have, I don't know, in the last week or two, I've just not been feeling so good. Like, basically like depressed or something. I'm not quite sure what it is. Is my car gonna shift? Okay. Having problems identifying what is basically going on and all that, and I've been thinking on and off about my day job and all that stuff. So I had my mid-year review last week, and they finally like posted or made public or whatever, or advertised like an actual chart for our job positions. And you know, so like I got to actually see like where my position, my current position, falls in the whole grand scheme of things, and whatever. So turbo's getting louder and louder, huh? So with that, you know, they also had a little description of my job, and it said, you know, whatever, 2 to 4 years experience. And the next position up was like 4 to 6 years of experience and all that. So, you know, when I had my meeting last week, I brought that up. I was like, you know, I've been working here for like 10 years. So, like, you know, I've been in my current position for over 5 years, so I believe I should be in that next level up. And my boss listened to what I had to say, but she's like, well, we don't do it based off of years and stuff. She's like, back in the day, that's how they used to do things. They would, as soon as you met like so many year, like your anniversary or milestone or whatever you want to call it, then you would, move up to the next position automatically, like no matter what. She said, so because of that, there's like a lot of old, people that worked there forever that were like grandfathered in, essentially. Like basically she was saying that like there's a lot of people that are in certain positions or roles that they're not really qualified for. They just basically got in there because of years of service or something. So everything in the description of my next step I'm already doing, and I brought that to my boss's attention and basically said like, well, yeah, but we have to justify the new promotion or whatever and give concrete examples and this and that. So what they were telling me was basically like, we have another project coming up where another data center is going to be closing up in Minnesota, and we're going to be moving like 35 racks to my data center. My data center currently has about 70 racks, but so I was like, okay, so the boss is basically telling me like, well, if you do a good job on that, that'll be like an opportunity to show that you're ready for the new position. Like, you don't just get in the new position and do the new position's activities or job. You have to like do it first and prove you can do it before you get the role or the position changed, title changed. So I was basically talking to my boss, and I said, not today, not tomorrow, but sometime in the near future, like my main goal was to get on like the Windows or server team, like the server admin team. And I said, like, what's it gonna take? I have my degree. I've had my college degree for 10 years. I now have 10 years of IT experience. What the fuck what gives? I said, do I need to go get certifications? Do I need to get a master's degree? Like, fuck. And she's like, well, we don't have a lot of opportunities. She's like, you can go talk to one of their bosses and kind of see what, have a talk with them, see, what they have to say, maybe any recommendations that they have or whatever, and all that. So today, one of the server admins came downstairs, and I kind of told him my idea, and I said, maybe 3 years, 5 years, whatever. I just want something to be able to work towards, And he's like, well, typically we pull from a different team, which is still in the basement, but it's basically like the hardware support team. So in that room, not only do they provide IT support and desk side support for people in the building or on location, but they also like manage all the hardware. So all the laptops, keyboards, monitors, all that stuff. They image the computers and all that. Data backup for users and stuff. So my Windows admin guy said, well, we usually pick or pull from people in that department. And I was just like, okay. I'm like, that's like IT support. I've already done IT support. Like, I did that for a couple of years or whatever. Desk side support, all that. Like, that's not what I want to do. And he's like, well, I know that's not really going to be like a move up, but if any openings come up in that room, then maybe that's like the way to go. So that way you can eventually, make it to like the Windows team or something. And I was just like, what the fuck, man? Like, that's not what I wanted to hear. And just not happy about that. So I'm disappointed. I've been playing it safe for all these years, and I've always had a reason or an excuse. It used to be because I had a house and a wife to take care of. So like, I never thought it would be a good idea to be jumping jobs back then. And now it's, I have a fucking kid to take care of. And I don't know, man. I don't know. It's almost like the only way I'm gonna get any sort of movement at all is to leave the company. And it's unfortunate, you know. The guy I talked to today, he's really cool, he's really good, and he's like, well, is this something you really want? And I said, yeah, man, this is my goal from the beginning. I'm like, I have a degree in this shit, and everyone I talk to doesn't even have a degree. He's like, oh, you have a degree? I'm like, yeah, computer science, man. And he's like, well, you know, if it's something you really want, then just fucking push through. He's like, make it happen. And I'm like, well, made a comment and just basically said, well, you know, he said there's no one here that's not going to be supportive of you and what you want. He's like, you know, if someone isn't supportive of you, then that's a problem in and of itself. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't think like a normal day at work should consist of, you know, rendering video or researching stuff on the internet or playing video games or any of that, because you have so much free time. And my current position is so non-technical. Like, I don't know. And you know, I was just talking about having excuses or reasons or whatever for years. Now my newest excuse is I took out a massive loan to pay off this fucking divorce that I'm still dealing with all kinds of bullshit over. And I have like 3 years to pay this back. Three years. I still owe like $28,000. As I'm saying this, my turbo's like whining because it's about to go out on this car. So I don't know. I don't know what gives. I don't know what the fuck is going on. There's some days, some weeks, some months where it feels like with this life that I'm just dreaming. It's all a nightmare. I witness how other people live their lives and how they do what they do, and I'm just blown away at how life in general will provide good luck and fortunate opportunities for people that are not very deserving of any of that. I see how, you know, other people treat each other in various forms or fashions. I see how men treat women or mistreat women, and then I see women that abuse or verbally abuse men and stuff. And I just like, there's a meme, and it's just like basically says something like, I don't want to live on this world anymore. Not impressed by people at all. My friends have failed and disappointed me. And in some aspects, family has too. So, I know they say to go out and do what makes you happy. But at this point, I don't even know what makes me happy anymore. So much has died inside of me that don't even know what to say. Now I gotta raise Grant in this system. The system of shit. Shitty people. No morals, no convictions, no passions, no energy. How do I do that when life has beat me down so much to the point where I don't even care anymore? Cheaters, the liars, the thieves, the beggars, they're the ones that come out on top. Why? Why is that? So I don't know what this new form that I've taken is called or classified as. It's almost a different type of depression. I'm more like, maybe it's like anger or resentment, but I'm more pissed off. I don't know what to say. Alright, so it's been quite the evening. When I got home after picking Grant up, I was able to cut the grass before the sun set, mainly because I just mulched it. I realized right as I was getting home that I really don't have any other time this week to cut the grass. Tomorrow is swim lesson day, and by the time we'd get back from that, it'd be dark out. Wednesday, Thursday, I'm planning on trying to make it out to Luke's. Oh, check this out. The neighbor gave us a butternut squash. Never had one of those before, and I'm going to have to look up some recipes or something to do with that. So I just got out of the shower. That's about it. It's getting close to bedtime. We're going to maybe do a snack and call it a night. So see you tomorrow.